if you haven't made money out of sheep especially, but cattle as well, in the last 12 months, I don't think you will, to be honest.
Yeah.
The lane that comes up to Hannah's place, it's going up and down and bends and tight, man. Those hedges, gone.
Just buy a helicopter. Just a helicopter.
No, it's like you can literally buy any farm at once.
A lot of my shed customers are shearing customers. Okay, around with us, it's very traditional, absolutely love it. Into the house for dinner, during proper family farms, and when you're working there, you're one of the families, so...
You're the shearer showing off to the Rousey. She was super impressed. Yeah. It's amazing how testosterone will get you to do a 700.
And so are people using Kelpies instead of Collies?
Yeah.
They have a different role.
Very good all-rounders. So for me, there's not a job I can go do personally that they can't do.
Welcome to the podcast where we're harvesting humor, planting delight. Join us, Iona and Cammy. Let's have some fun. It's time for Fed by Farmers.
Hello and welcome to the Fed by Farmers podcast with me, Cammy Wilson.
And me, Iona Murray.
This week we are joined by good friends of mine. Not so much yours, they are now.
They are
friends now.
Yeah,
but we're joined by Colin and Hannah Jacob from Cymru.
Yes.
Which I think is how you say Wales in Welsh.
Is that CYMRU?
Yeah, I think that's right. Mm-hmm. Bore da to all our Welsh fans. So who have we got to thank before we get into this, Iona?
We have to thank Herdwatch and Crystalyx.
Yes, thanks to both Herdwatch and Crystalyx for sponsoring the podcast. Herdwatch, of course, is a huge data software.
Livestock management app.
That's it. I can never get it.
I know.
My brain just went there again.
That's okay. You're
Livestock management app is the perfect. This is exactly what it is. It makes perfect sense now you say it. They have currently 20,000 users in the UK and Ireland. We're on a mission to, double it should be easy. Double it, pass it to the next guy. So if you're interested in trying them out, check them out in the link below. I've been with them for 3 years now. All our sheep are on it and our cows now as well. And I use the arable section for cropping, for mapping the size of fields, which is really handy. Check them out. And Crystalyx will be flat out of the sheep just now. Iona doesn't use Crystalyx, don't you not?
No, we don't.
No, but it's a blacky thing. I think you like the blocks they can chew up.
Yeah.
Which I understand. But anyway, my sheep are all in Crystalyx just now. And it just gives me a nice warm fuzzy feeling inside. Because the weather's good. There's a wee bite of grass. If I put the Crystalyx out, I feel I've done everything I can for them.
Yeah.
And it's how you feel in here that really matters.
Always, Cammy.
Isn't it?
Always. How do you feel in there?
All right. Quite tired now. Just into that routine of lamb. We're up early.
Yeah, what is your
bed late.
routine with the shed? Like, do you don't do night lambing, do you?
No, we just leave them work away.
And then go out first thing.
Well, for all there is, they're split into reasonably wee pens. There's not that many of them. And their meals, they lamb easy.
Perfect.
It's a doddle. So they just work away. So generally speaking, we'll check them 11, midnight.
Right,
Then we do all the waters and the pens and do everything for the night.
Yep.
And then Lizzie, bless her, she gets up at 4.
Does she?
Under no obligation to do so. But she gets up at 4 and goes out, does the shed. Then now she's coming back in, sleeping on the sofa.
Okay.
And then Jock comes down, gives me a nudge at 5:30.
Okay.
And then I get up and then we all just go and do our day. Jock will come out and 5:30 with his jammies on and do a bit. And then we go back in for breakfast and the rest get up. So yeah, that's the current routine. But our actual proper lambing doesn't kick off to the 5th of April, roughly. Yeah. I think. So we've still got 1,000 to lamb from that date. We're just lambing 150 early.
Yeah.
Just a wee warm up.
Warm up act.
Something to do.
Exactly.
It's something to do. Now, Colin and Hannah are friends of mine from the shearing world. Colin, a very handy shearer. He's done tallies of 500 plus.
700.
They do 700?
He did 700.
I knew he did a massive tally, actually. That could be right. Welsh Mountain Ewes, I remember he posted it on Facebook. But yeah, we talk about that in the podcast here. And Hannah, they met through Rousey. Hannah was a wool handler. They've travelled the world together, ended up getting married in Scotland, and they were back up on the little anniversary tour. So he took advantage of that and had a little chat with him. Colin also builds sheds, and he sees himself moving more into that and giving up the shearing. And we talk about that, which is an interesting side hustle.
Yeah.
So we're here for the guys, and then we'll reconvene at the end.
We shall. Just a quick note before we start.
Yes.
Colin's microphone, we made a blunder. It wasn't on.
Yeah, if you're watching YouTube, this little cable here, for some reason, stopped working on Colin's microphone, and I think it's the same in the next podcast for next week. But Ashley, the editor, has done some fantastic AI work to sort the audio, and I think you'll hardly notice it. So here we go. Here's Colin Hannah. And we're here with Colin and Hannah Jacob. How are you both?
Yeah.
Yeah, good thing.
Very well, thank you.
Yeah, the most random podcast this one, because you literally just said we're passing, we'll stop in and see the farm, and I was like, come and do a podcast.
It's a nice farm, yeah.
It's cozy, isn't it? It's cozy. Yeah, we'll CGI it in later. So I suppose, well, know you guys through the shearing, but there'll be more to it than that, because you'll need to make money the rest of the year. Yeah. How would you describe yourself?
Probably 80% of the time cutting up steel frame buildings around other farms, just general agricultural contracting. And the rest of the time sort of at home on Hannah's family farm then.
Yeah, and then I'm home full time, so yeah, chasing sheep.
Where is the farm?
In Neath, so it's, if you know Swansea.
Absolutely not.
No.
South
Wales.
I've been to Swansea. Yeah, Swansea's a city that, like,
Yeah.
it's no, Cardiff's the capital, but I have been to Swansea for I used to, when I was in the police, we used to do athletics, and it used to take you all around the UK to different cities and stuff. So I went to Swansea for that one time. It was a good night out. I'm sure. I'm sure. In fact, is it Swansea? There's this like club where the different floors are the different ages of the music.
I'm showing your age now, Cammy.
Oh yeah, that'd be 10 years. That would be 10 years ago at least.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So third floor was 80s, 90s.
It does ring a bell.
Boom music. But then, what age are you guys?
I'm 26.
I'm 27.
Oh, you're just kids then. I know. God. Yeah, like God, 10 years ago, you wouldn't even be able to get into these places.
No.
That's terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah.
So okay, the steel building job, is that your own business?
Yeah. Started with fencing, just when we were shearing or not too busy at home, go out fencing and got some real nice contracts, and we did that for a good few years. Well, we're still fencing now, but I think, just one old boy asked, while you're here, I got a pole shed that needs putting up, and then we did that, and then, that sort of just led into one after the other, and last year was probably the best 12 months we've ever had. Considering the future of farming has been quite unsettled, it's unbelievable how many people are investing in buildings and infrastructure. Unreal, really, which is good for us.
But there is money in farming. Like the inheritance tax is a major issue, but farmers are making probably more money now than they ever have.
Well, like sheep prices in the last year. Do you know what I mean? Like,
That's what we've kind of said. I think if you haven't made money out of sheep especially, but cattle as well, in the last 12 months, I don't think you will, to be honest.
Yeah. Get out and let someone else do it. Yeah, absolutely.
So are you from a farm as well?
Yeah. So, I've been brought up on a farm. About 5 years ago, started farming my own way as well then. Bought my own flock of sheep, but we rented ground with that. And then I went away from the family business and more into the contracting. And the last 12 months now, I've sort of sold off my own farming business just to focus primarily on Hannah's and the shed business as well. I don't want to do the sheds forever, so I'm just thinking, while we're at it, have a good stab and try and make as much money as possible in a short space of time.
That sells up nicely then.
Yeah.
Is there good money in it?
Yeah. If you'd asked me 3 years ago, do you think you would be giving up shearing? I'd have said definitely not, but I can't see me shearing this summer.
Is that right?
Yeah. Only because it's the time of year where everybody wants to get on with projects. If you're going to dig out for a shed, summer's the time to do it. And last year, I lost a couple of real good jobs. I just said I can't do it because I was so busy shearing. And I just said through this winter, and I'm not doing that again. Like, do you know what I mean? The money we'd make on one shed, you'd have to shear probably half a season just to come back to the same place. So I was like, I love the shearing to bits, but from a business point of view.
Yeah, and you're probably not going to do it forever, the shearing. It's very hard to keep going and keep doing it.
Both of us have basically been condemned by the chiropractor. So Colin's been having hip issues. I've had a bad back for a few years. Yeah. So finally went in the autumn and I was like, I've actually got a really bad back. Yeah. So I worn down my L5 disc at the bottom of my back. So I'm not allowed to run anymore, no more CrossFit anymore. I'm allowed to swim and walk.
So how have you done that?
Just repetitive, rolling wall.
Just constantly bending over?
Yeah, and it's worn away. So Goes to show you got to look after yourself with the job, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get away with it for so long, and then you get to an age, you're like, this is hurting a lot more.
Oh yeah, I've got lots of issues myself, and definitely feel it. But yeah, I do. A lot of it must be genetic too, though, because look at some of the guys.
Yeah,
like some guys and shearers don't look after themselves, and
No.
Rousey's not.
No.
You would say women generally are a bit more. Are they less injury prone? They're a bit more flexible and stuff, eh?
Do you think?
I think they're less injury prone, are they not?
Hannah's pretty injury.
I blame that on being left-handed. I think I'm just naturally clumsy, but
Okay.
I think so.
I hope so.
But is the back thing you think actually from the rouse? It's not from all the work you're doing on farm and stuff.
Probably wouldn't help, would it?
It probably wouldn't help.
All the
things,
dragging the
no.
bull bags about and all the extra heavy lifting.
Yeah, I
that,
think it's definitely
yeah,
not.
yeah.
You sort of just grit your teeth and get on, and you're like, you don't want to show weakness. You're like, no, I'll get through this.
How do they fix it? Or it can't be fixed?
I've got to go for adjustments like twice 3 times a week.
3 times a week? For how long?
About months.
I've been going out for about 5 months, yeah. So it's intense, but
Yeah.
it will get better. It is getting better. So
Trying to teach your body to straighten back up again and
yeah.
get out of the muscle memory thing of going back in the...
Yeah.
And your family farm, what's the family farm?
Hill Farm running 1,200 ewes now and 40 sucklers. So it's enough headage for the farm at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah.
We were really jealous actually driving around Aberdeenshire, and it's big flat fields, rolling landscape. How many times we said like, oh, look at the size of that field, like all our fields quite like higgledy-piggledy. And, yeah.
Is there any grass up there? Surely our grass is better down here.
I'd say everyone's got more than you, to be honest.
We've got more grass here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're absolute. This is absolute like farming heaven down here, but a lot of people don't know about it, so we don't mention it too much on here because we're on the land prices creeping up. But it's absolute gold because land prices are about a fortune down here, is it not?
Yeah, a lot of good farms around by us are getting bought by like British Airways, etc., to offset carbon. And one of the lads who shears with me, they rented a block of ground, and honest to God, some of the nicest ground you'd ever see. A flat maize ground. They were growing maize on it, and British Airways bought it 2 or 3 years ago. Absolutely heartbreaking.
So British Airways have bought it, and then just to say they're offsetting carbon. Although, as we've mentioned loads of times, nothing's changed.
No.
The farmer's already there.
Yeah, exactly.
So are they planting trees or anything, or just leaving it?
Yeah, not what I'm aware of, but I think that would be the plan now, or unless they just let it go backwards. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're renting out to a farmer.
Not at the moment, no.
Oh, they're not? Oh, sorry, I thought your mate was renting it before they bought it. Sorry, okay. Right. Well, so it's just sitting doing nothing?
Yeah, at the minute when you drive past, it's just pretty idle, like,
Because they won't want, they probably have this daft notion in their head, they don't want farmers on it because it'll be like, oh, livestock's bad for the planet and all this nonsense. That's terrifying. So there's quite a bit of that in Wales, is there?
A lot of trees getting planted.
And of course, they won't pay inheritance tax. Like British Airways don't pay inheritance tax.
No, because they're not inheriting it.
No, because that's not what I mean. But I can't tell if you're joking or not. But no, because like these big corporations, it's just an asset within a corporation of shareholders. So like British Airways is never going to die.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So like, there's no inheritance tax for them to pay. So like, these big companies can buy up this farmland, and this supposed thing by Labour to stop that happening does nothing. Anyway, don't get into that. Don't get into that again, Cammy. It's bad.
And what has brought you to Scotland this time?
Crystalyx Extra High Energy Feed Blocks have been providing high energy supplementation to ewes, lambs and rams in the UK since 1978. Packed full of protein, vitamins, minerals and trace elements, Crystalyx Extra High Energy has been proven to increase live lamb numbers and improve lamb daily live weight gain at a cost of only 4 to 7 pence per ewe per day. To view the full Crystalyx range and find your nearest stockist, visit crystalyx-global.com.
Honeymoon at last.
Yeah.
So
Eventual honeymoon.
yeah, we got married in October.
What a depressing honeymoon.
Scotland?
He's literally just telling us about how much money he's making building sheds. And he brings her to Scotland. Unreal.
It's a funny one though. I don't think either of us would cope like going to a beach anywhere, or like as much as you think a holiday in the sun would be lovely, it's not for either of us.
But you've been all around the world together, eh? You've done...
Yeah,
I've done travelling.
you've done 4 seasons in New Zealand, I've done 3. So like, yeah, sort of not been there, done that, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah, you've done the abroad thing and... Yeah.
But I don't know if it's just a part of growing up or whatever, when you're more dedicated with work and home or whatever, but I think we stayed away 5 nights now, and most ready to go back. I wouldn't say desperate to try all night.
Missing the dogs.
Yeah. Well, I like my routine. Yeah, I like the routine of everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it's okay. So where have you seen?
So I do really like Glencoe, where we got married. Mountains, or I'm just obsessed with mountains.
Okay. Yeah.
Anybody else would look at this mountain and think, oh, absolutely gorgeous. What a naturally beautiful thing. And I was like, right, if we were to gather this now, you'd have to start this. You couldn't start that side because the sun would be in your eyes. So you have to start that side. Put the dogs up there.
Is there even any sheep left up there? No, it's mostly been cleared out, I think. Yeah.
They pull them off for the winter, would they, I presume?
No. A lot of them would be running the hill the winter. Yeah. The ewes would be out there. Then bring them down for lambing. But we're scanning, and then the twins would stand by and probably put the singles back to the hill. But I think just most of those bits have just either, big estates putting them off for rewilding or can't get shepherds. It's hard to get people to do hill farming.
Yeah.
It's
not for everyone.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, it's not for me. It's not for me. You obviously like it, but
I think if you're brought up with it, though, no different.
Yeah.
It's what you're used to, and yeah.
I show a couple of years ago, just to help a mate out, I show around Ballata. So, and yeah, one of the last days we show a tick mob right up in the hills, and it was just gamekeepers gathering the sheep, and they did have a couple of dogs, but that was mostly the company in the pickup. I'm never seen just a team of Hiluxes driving, sort of moving in a general direction, and they got them in. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Just big tick mops. Is this weathers? Were they all weathers?
Half and half. There's a lot of weathers in them.
What's a tick? What are you saying there?
Tick mops.
What's that?
So it's literally to help the grouse, or it'll be the grouse probably, I would think, on the shoots for these big estates. So what you'll find is a lot of parts of Scotland are owned by rich millionaires in other countries. And they'll pay gamekeepers, and they'll all get a Hilux truck and no expense spared and a good wage and all that. And it's just to make as many grouse as they can, or whatever birds it will be, pheasants or whatever, for them to come and shoot.
Really?
Yeah. And the sheep are just there to pick up the ticks. So ticks bite you, give you Lyme's disease or whatever. So the sheep are there to pick up the ticks, so the ticks don't destroy the birds.
No, really?
Yeah.
God, that's mad.
That's mad.
That's too much money, isn't it?
Oh, it is mad. I mean, there's lots of them. American billionaires and that owning land, and it's just so they've got a nice bit to shoot.
Over.
A lot of them don't even a lot of them don't even pay them sell the days. You can sell shooting days. A lot of them are so rich they don't even sell the days. Just keep it for themselves and their family and their mates.
What would be one extravagant thing like that you would do if you were a proper billionaire, proper billionaire, £100 billion?
What's an extravagant thing?
Something like that, just that it's ridiculous, but you would do it.
100 billion.
Yeah. Basically limitless money.
I mean, obviously I would just buy every farm I could. But I mean, that's not really it. I mean, I would have literally just 100 billion.
Yeah.
I think
1,000 billion.
Well, that's a trillion now, but you're getting that would never happen. 100 billion would never happen. But for being ridiculous about it, right? I'm just thinking it through. I think I could buy nearly every farm in Ayrshire for 100 billion.
Wow.
So I'll just try and do that.
Would you? And then what?
You'd be a busy man.
Exactly. He already. And then what?
Good question. It was meant to be extravagant and daft, right? I didn't know if to think it all through.
Sorry.
If I was being really mental, I'd maybe buy Kilmarnock Football Club.
Okay.
100 billion.
Yeah.
You can make Kilmarnock the best football team in Scotland.
That's a good one because then you're also working towards something, which is nice.
Yeah, okay. Right, you guys, 100... Iona, you obviously have something in your head while you're asking.
No,
we like wee tangents on here.
That's an annoying thing when I ask a question like that because
I haven't actually
thought it through.
But come on, what's one thing?
I would get a massage every single day.
You already get that.
Iona. I know, I was going oh yeah, that's the chiropractor, so I thought it was a wee romantic thing. Just while you're on your honeymoon. A massage every day is what? 40 quid a massage is £1,200 a month is 14 grand a year. You've got 100 billion.
I'd get two.
Your interest will be going up faster than you could get massaged.
Yeah, you're right.
So, but yeah, okay, that's interesting. Is that your way of selling your massage? Iona has a massaging business too.
Right, okay, yeah.
So is that your way of saying how important how good massages are?
No.
Okay. What would you do if you had 100 billion, Hannah?
I'd Sorry, you can't wrap your head around that sort of money, can you?
Yeah. Well, you can basically do anything. What's your
Literally
wildest
anything.
desire?
Oh, I know what I do.
Oh,
Go on.
yeah. you-
Honest. The lane that comes up to Hannah's place, it's going up and down and bends, and it's accessible, but it's tight, man. Those hedges, gone.
Just buy a helicopter. Just helicopter.
No, it's like you can literally buy any farm he wants. Like you can buy those bits in Aberdeenshire and all that. You know, those amazing fields. He wants to take 100 billion. Right, that's great. I'm getting those
get those
hedges.
fixed.
Aye. I'm getting that tarmacked all the way up.
That's such a farmer answer.
There we go. Well, Hannah, what would you do? You don't need to do the road, it's done.
Oh, yeah, the road's done.
I can see we're importing dogs.
Yeah, I'd
you-
want to import a few Kelpies over.
Would you just go to build? Well, that can be done anyway.
Yeah,
That's achievable.
Yeah, it's not cheap though either. I'm not saying it wouldn't really take a chunk out of the billion, but
No, postcode lottery would do that.
Yeah, but 100 billion. Come on.
yeah. I'd love our own shearing shed, our own little bit of New Zealand at home.
Okay.
Not that we're not really making a dent into this much, mate.
I think that's the trouble with farming. You're not used to spending extravagant money.
No, yeah, it's
Apart from
it is
the-
actually
Yeah.
because well, when you say to like a farmer, a lot of farmers like, what is your wildest, deepest? Most of them would like, I just want to buy the best bull or the best tub.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, you know,
Yeah.
I'd let me buy. Oh, I tell you what I'd do if I won 100 billion.
What?
I would just never let Alan get a tuppy once. Just for the sake of it. Just to wind him up. Like, and then I'd maybe keep this going for a couple of years and then just leave him with one. At like 1.2, we're at 1.2 million. Yeah. I knew that would be fun. That would be fun. There we go. We would do that to Alan. Just mates, across the ring like that. Come on, mate, it's a laugh. But anyway, so that's it. Good we get that out of the way.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the fencing and you D's that back. Is that because Ewan Jones has got all the contracts for the fencing?
No, I think the sheds, it's easier to get boys to stick the sheds because once you get the shed up, you're inside. So
It's dry.
if you get two sheds on the go at the same time and you keep it staggered, so you can go and work in one shed when it's wet and go and keep the other one going up while it's dry and keep alternating. So it's easier to get boys to stick it on the sheds, whereas fencing, you're outside.
Do you struggle to find boys? I'd have thought Welsh boys are quite easy to find because they're quite hardy.
That would be the biggest obstacle.
We're very lucky. We've got one boy with us full time, and even like when we're away now, he loves doing stuff on the farms and he loves a bit of sheep work. So we've left him doing the feeding with Dad while we're away. But like, it's nice then coming away because like peace of mind, like
trust him.
everything's
Yeah.
okay, like
Yeah.
everything's fine. But yeah, trying to get boys is
Is that right? Even in Wales, I thought Wales would be easy.
no.
Really?
That it seems like that generation of farm boys, they don't want to go and drive tractors.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, I got a good mate who's an agricultural contractor. He's given me a couple of boys when I'm struggling, and they love it for a couple of days, and then you can tell them, yeah, I want to jump back in the tractor now, like, you know.
Yeah, because it's out in all weathers. When you're fencing, it's all weathers. Very sore in the hands. You know, that's something I always remember from doing a bit of fencing. It's like you're no long to your hands are fair, especially till you get used to it. You know,
Yeah.
bending wire and barb catching you, and it's a pretty rough game.
In your eyeballs, like.
Hawthorn hedges at every bloody job. You're constantly picking festered thorns out your hands. So right, I thought in Wales, I just a picture. I think, you think what Wales is like with the shearing, like you have a lot of able boys there. But then they all go to New Zealand, so you can't get
That's
them.
the other thing,
Yeah.
We had another good boy with us a couple of years ago, and now he's doing Australia and New Zealand in between shearing over here. So yeah, he's not home very much.
We wish him the absolute best. I don't blame him in the slightest, but it would be real nice just to have him all the same. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's one of those selfish things. Someone's like, I want to go traveling. You're like, yeah, go do it. And perhaps you're like, see you.
And that's part of the problem we have with a lot of farmers' sons is that the parents would love them to go and experience other things,
Yeah.
but the way the farm's set up, they can't do without them.
Yeah.
So the poor boy or lassie never actually gets away and travels and experiences other things. All they know is the farm at home because
It's sad, really. Like.
oh, it is. It is. And a lot of parents I'm sure would wish it wasn't that way, and they could send the kids away, but you just can't afford the wages because you can pay them peanuts.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing. Interesting what you say about struggling to get folks. I take it your biggest issue then, if you wanted to keep that business going, but you step back, is
Staff.
is trusting somebody to go on with it.
Yeah, Mission Impossible, really. And the other thing with us as well is a lot of my shed customers are shearing customers.
Okay.
So, while you're shearing call, come and have a look at this when you got some time.
Yeah.
So around with us, it's very traditional. Absolutely love it. Into the house for dinner, proper family farms. And when you're working there, you're one of the family. So whoever I have with me, you've got to know that they can come in the house, be polite.
Yeah, so true.
Like some lads, do you know what I mean? Like they come in and sit down and still got their boots on and they're like, oh, would you like a cup of coffee? No, I'm all right. Like, do you know what I mean? And yeah, the lad that's full time with us, absolutely brilliant one. Do you know what I mean? And I know full well that if I'm not there, that he will maintain that and he'll be polite and whatever. And the bottom line is the customer's always right.
Yeah.
If they want to change something or alter something halfway through the project, well, that you're paying.
Yep.
Customer is always right. I do enjoy working for farmers. We do sometimes do sort of more industrial type buildings or whatever, or different customers, more commercial customers, but I try and keep it to working for farmers and they're very understanding. You know what I mean?
Yeah, farms are good.
They understand that. They understand, if things are taking a bit longer, or if you need to nip away for something emergency, they understand. More on the commercial side.
That's the nice thing about sheds as well is, say you've got a cow calf in a home and you're on a shed and the farmer comes back to the yard, oh, Colin's gone. Oh, well, he'll pick it up tomorrow. If you were shearing and a farmer come back to the yard and everyone's gone, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That is one thing they're not so understanding if you disappear with that. Yeah, okay. And you never tried like Kiwi Boys or?
There was a lad over shearing for me 3 years ago, and yeah, he'd come fencing a little bit, whatever, but he was there to shear. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was nice that if we got rained off for a couple of quieter days that he could come, but he was there to shear, so yeah, it's.
I think it's a hard change for Kiwi Boys over here though, because there's no depends on the work hours. Like in New Zealand, you go to New Zealand generally you start by 7, you finish by 5, and yeah, it's not quite like that over here, is it?
Yeah, I've worked with Kiwi Boys, and yeah, that does impact them big, is the fact that we just work crazy hours. And outside in the sun is another one they really hate. I hate it as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
But and more for us that we do it, to be honest with you, because that is one thing that'll absolutely kill me in a big day is out in the baking sun, and the next day, and maybe the next day after that. But yeah, and they're absolutely right. They are right.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think part of the problem was here is, well, one, it's a short season.
Yeah, it's hard and fast.
Yeah, hard and fast. And then also, most of us are farmers.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of different kind of mentality.
Yeah.
The farmers, it's like, just work all day, keep it going.
Is that not the case in New Zealand?
No, you can tell if I'm wrong. Most shearers in New Zealand would not be from farming. Would that be fair to say?
Most of them would be town kids, really.
Really? So, and why are they getting into shearing?
Money.
Yeah, money.
Yeah.
Sheep are there to be shown, yeah.
Because the numbers are so much bigger in New Zealand, I suppose the demand is higher for more shearers.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, are the numbers that much bigger than us now? I'm not even sure. I think they're actually fair came back. But they are bigger. But yeah, bigger numbers. Better education in schools about farming, so they actually hear about opportunities in the countryside.
Yeah.
Whereas here, it's it's not secretive, but kids in town here know nothing about farming. Whereas in New Zealand, I think one of the guests we had in before, he said Young Farmer of the Year is on like 7 o'clock on a Saturday night on TV.
Yeah.
like
that would never happen.
It's unbelievable. No. Like, and then we had a previous couple in that sent their son to do a term or 2 terms in New Zealand as a wee exchange thing, and it's like once a week they have a 2-hour like agriculture lesson, and it'll be like fencing or seeing what's rural skills, developing rural skills that they could then go out and work.
So good.
We just don't have anything like that here, so I think that must be a big part of how the boys fall into
it. Yeah.
Are we short for shearers here?
Nah, not really.
I'd say in a couple of years there might be a bit of a short. I think, especially at home now, there's a bit more of a changeover where the boys mad for shearing, but they're farmers' sons, dad's getting older, they need to be home more, they can't be as committed to the shearing as they once were. So it's...
Are we seeing less Kiwis coming over because the money's so good over there and so good in Australia as well?
I think definitely, yeah. I was speaking to the Kiwi lad that was shearing for us, and financially, even with as much money as I could afford to give him, I'd say it was almost a waste of time. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's an experience.
It's an experience, yeah.
Yeah, those top guys as well, they're quite happy to go about for the experience, they're not. Yeah. So, and they're the best folk. Yeah. The folk that aren't desperate for the money, and are keen to learn and grow as shearers are the best. But yeah, you're making a good point, huh? Maybe we'll see a real dive. Well, everybody's getting softer too.
Yeah.
Like
I think
everybody's
that's
getting
part of it,
softer.
Do
Yeah.
you think?
100%.
100%. Yeah.
100%. Everybody's getting softer. So like, where do you find these people that will work in 26 degrees? You know,
Surely
from
farmers will still be hard, you know.
no, that's what I thought that's what we're talking about.
I think generally people are getting softer, but surely farmers, if you're still being born into that.
No, but will you look at a photo? Here's a perfect example. You look at a photo of farmers clipping their yows 40 years ago, 50 years ago, right? And then look at a photo of farmers now. Some, you know, back then they're all lean and wiry and hardy because they were working bloody physically hard all day. Whereas now everything's mechanical, which is for the better, can I just say, for longevity of working life and encouraging young people into the industry. It is for the better, but everything now is tractors. And someone said a great thing. What was it? The worst thing ever for succession was the invention of the round bale, because before it, boys spent their whole life throwing wee bales about, and they were buggered by the time they were 50.
Yeah.
So they had to step back and they were absolutely physically broke by the time they were 50.
Yeah.
Whereas once they brought the round bale in, and then it was tractors and everything like that, you could work. You were fit until you were 60, 70. So you're in the road all that time. There's some older folk listening will be annoyed at that thought, but it is a great thing for
it's so
succession
true.
when you're no fit.
Well, think about it, even when my dad was lambing when he was like my age, and they were walking the hill every single day.
There we go. So
Like, literally every
like
day.
your dad's a lean man, to be fair.
Yeah,
He is a
he
very
is,
lean man.
yeah.
But imagine how lean he'd be if he had to walk the hill all the time.
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, and I think that is the
Yeah,
problem we
things
see.
have
Like
changed.
it's everything's just a lot of it for the better.
Yeah.
It's more
Yeah.
efficient. You know,
Yeah.
walking the hill take far too long, too much pissing about.
I know, but then he said it like then like life was slower, which was quite nice.
Yeah.
You
Like,
could
it
live off
wasn't-
less. And
Yeah.
It wasn't as fast. It wasn't about being efficient and I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a,
Like-
it was just a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And to be fair, for a lot of farmers listening, it'll still be the same. They'll still find all day something to do about the farmsteading all day, every day, all
Yeah.
winter. You
Dad.
know, that's exactly.
Literally.
Aye, he's out out in the hill. Like, what has he been doing all winter?
And they got a leaf blower, so he's not even sweeping the leaves now. Yeah.
The place is immaculate, to be fair. So at least he's not. He is keeping busy with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think we do face an issue. But I thought the Welsh boys were going to be our saviour. I always think of Welsh boys as being hardy, but that's interesting. You've opened my eyes up there.
We have like sort of my generation, like some unbelievable Welsh shearers as well. Unreal.
They are athletes.
Yeah,
Really?
Like, that's the only way to describe them. Do you know what I mean? They are a different league. Like, you'd see it, you step up into the opening competitions, but like, for me now with the wool handling, you go from senior and then you go up to the open and then you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a different, just a different league completely.
Oh, is that?
You almost need a step in between
Oh, you
just
do.
to ease into it.
Well, you do, because it's like I went from obviously doing fairly well in the seniors to you're just useless in the open, and you're going up against world champions. Like,
Yeah,
what other
yeah.
sport you go from like in the seniors? This is the grades we're talking about in shearing. So second top grade is called seniors. In the seniors, you're only competing against losers, because if they were winners, they'd be up.
Yeah.
So you go from the seniors competing against losers, other losers like yourself. Eventually, you win a few and you get bumped up,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're against world champions.
Yeah.
Do you know, and ex-world champions, and guys that have won as many open competitions. It is a
Yeah.
massive jump, but then that's just life. The cream will always come to the top.
Yeah.
But Wales are for anyone who doesn't know, Wales are current world team champions and current individual champions as well.
Wow.
And they were the world champion last time, so that's
Yeah.
2 world champions in a row. They've had the world
Wow.
champion shearer, 2 different people as well.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the younger generation looks equally as bright.
you talk about Gethin and Claire and
Shear, May, Elan, do you know what I mean? And
Elan, yeah.
Are you good?
no.
But yeah, he is good. He is good. But then it's a different level.
You're like a
Good shed shearer.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've done like 500 or 600, haven't you? What have you done?
Yeah. But like when I was younger, to be honest, when I took over the run, the bloke was an absolute animal. Like, you've never met anyone work like it. So we'd been chucked in the deep end, and if you couldn't find a second shearer, or if it had rained, then you had one real big day the next day. We just had to get on and do it one way or another. So quite often, like the other boys go shearing somewhere else, and I go shearing somewhere on my own. I shove a lot of our home sheet on my own, and ended up doing tallies. I wasn't too worried about time, just shear away. And I show 500 and 600 and 700. But
at one day.
I got jumped up fairly sharpish, but it was...
That's the tricky thing, though. It's like,
If you do a big tally, they jump you up.
What do you mean jump you up?
So
The grades.
Yeah.
Oh, in competitions.
Yeah.
But there's a big difference between shearing 700 sheep on a day. Well, no, that is a beastly, but then being good at show shearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's more about technique and not...
Well, I suppose slightly technique, but it's like the guys at the top of show shearing have a God-given talent to just put their hand where their eye is looking.
Okay.
Like their hand-eye coordination is just like Richard Jones, who I've mentioned quite a lot in this podcast, is like if you watch Richard Jones place his handpiece, like it's unbelievable.
Really?
And it looks achievable. You look at it and think, I could do that.
Yeah.
It's like, he's like, I mean, I hope Richard don't mind me saying he's not the fastest guy. I mean, he's fast, but he's not the fastest. He's not like Gavin Much kind of speed or Guion, but like, my God, the handpiece just is perfect every time.
Really?
Never a mark, nothing. It's just, and it's just like a talent. Like, it doesn't matter what you do. I think it doesn't matter what you do.
You've got it or you don't.
You either can or you can't.
I remember watching Guion in Corwen in the final, and I think it was about the last 3 or 4 lambs. He pulled one out, Elan was in his pen, and it just had a little crutching cut on the side of the belly. So he saw it, he sort of kept away from it, and straight into the undermine around, and Elan said to him, remember that cut, and he turned the last side, bang, 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 slowed, remembered it was there, make sure he went round it, and then bang, bang, bang. And you're like,
Yeah.
do you know, he's shearing 20 lambs in like 13, 14 minutes. You're like, what?
Yeah. Oh, it is. They are just athletes. They are just absolute athletes. There's no doubt about it. And we're just boys, but that's okay.
And how did you two meet? Was it in the shearing?
Yeah, so we always known of each other. I think farming families always do sort of know of each other. And then I came rolling wool a few times, and then that was it.
I take it quite local to each other at home.
Half an hour, 25 minutes, it's not bad.
Yeah.
No, fine.
And then, and just the standard, you're the shearer showing off to the Rousey. She was super impressed. It's amazing how testosterone will get you to do a 700. Maybe that was the thing. She says, I'll marry you if you do a 700. It's true though, like, there is a testosterone thing, like when there's the Rouseys there, it keeps you motivated. So just that old chestnut, just doing the wool. You touch his leg with a broom and the rest is history. That's a shearing joke.
She turned me off. I turned my machine on.
But you got married in Glencoe?
Yeah.
Why? Just because you like the mountains?
Like the mountains.
Cheaper than Wales?
A lot cheaper. To get married at home, like we did provisionally do the list of having the big farming wedding, but like you get to like 200 guests in the evening and you're like, this is... But it does get a thing of like, right, if we invite that one, we need to invite that one.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a snowball, so...
I probably pushed. I just got fed up of the engaged thing. I was like, we need to do something like that and do it fast. As long as we enjoy, that's all I'm concerned with.
Yeah, steady, Colin. You put a lot of pressure on me here. Speak for yourself, mate. I just like, let's do it.
I did absolutely nothing. I hadn't booked everything, and we turned up King's House, man, in Glencoe. I was like, what?
I've been. Yeah. It's part of the West Highland Way.
Yeah.
So I've done it twice. So and it's very nice.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
And just small numbers.
Yeah, we just had our closest friends. And I think it meant more to us because it was such a long way for all our friends to come up to Glencoe.
Yeah, I think Matt and Pippa were there, were they not?
Yeah.
I know, it's like going all the way up to Glencoe. Fair play to them. They must really like you. Yeah, I know. They must really like you.
But it meant that much more then because everyone had made such an effort to come. And you're like, oh, you're here for us. Do you know what I mean? It's
absolutely.
Yeah, it meant a lot. Didn't it?
Yeah. They did invite 150, right enough. That's just the ones that actually turned up. But you knew they wouldn't come. You just had to invite them. There must have been a wee bit of that, was there? I would do that. Like put it far away and then like you send a few invites just hoping they...
To be honest, I think it probably offended a couple of people because I knew they wouldn't be able to come, so I didn't invite them.
Okay.
Just because I knew they visit, and I felt bad asking.
Yeah.
But then I probably offended them and they're like, should I just have asked me? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you should just invite them and just gamble.
Yeah. I think the thing is with weddings, though, you're never going to please everyone. Someone's going to be upset. Someone's going to be... You just got to do what's best for you at the end of the day.
Oh, there's a high chance I never get married, but I've done the engagement bit.
Yeah, you have to. Have you and Lizzie spoken about it?
No.
You know?
Not one single conversation about it. No.
Really?
I will do it in the big shed at some point. Like, we'll do it cheap in the big shed. But it's like you say, it's like if I was to actually sit down and start thinking who you're inviting.
God, you've been nightmare.
Yeah, it's like, where do you draw the line? like without upsetting people and that. So it's easier just not to get married.
So an open house.
Well, if it was me, I'd probably just like say your things you meant to say, shake hands, and then just have a party. Yeah, however it goes. I've already done it. I've been married before in a past life, so I've done it as well. So that takes in.
I know, but Lizzie's not.
No, I can, which is the hard thing. If we'd both done it before, it'd be great. She could do a wee quick, just like sign the book. That's it.
Yeah.
But now I need to do a nice big one for Lizzie at some point. Might run to Glencoe. It's actually quite a far distance for me as for our family as well. So that might work out all right.
King's House, good location.
Yeah, King's House is very nice, very nice. I just they did a meal and everything.
Yeah, they did everything.
They did
Did you do like a weekend? Like, did you do it over a few days or?
I think everyone arrived on the Sunday and we got married on the Monday. So we had.
Because she made it even harder for people that had to get
off work.
I know, they had to get a week off work.
But we had a pretty good blowout the night before the wedding and the bar. So it's one of those, a lot of people be like, right, don't drink too much. We're married tomorrow. But
Be excited and everybody was
yeah,
there.
exactly.
Yeah.
And they've really good gin. So.
Yes. What was it, Harris gin there, or what was the gin? Don't remember it.
Navy gins.
Navy strength gin, is it?
Navy strength?
Hydro Navy strength gin.
Right, no, never heard of it. And you've done the honeymoon now as well. So talking about the farm, what's your plans for the future? Like, are you gonna farm at home, or are you gonna build a big shed and make your millions? Or
We're trying to sort of dedicate everything towards Hannah's place. So it's real nice with what I'm doing that if there's a section fence on Hannah's that I want to do, you're not worried, oh, right, okay, we need to pencil in financially. I can just get the materials, get it done. Like, do you know what I mean? I got the boys, strip this off, and there's something really nice about that. So I find even the last 12 months, we are progressing quite, we've done it.
We've done a lot of fences, and like Mum and Dad have done a lot on the place when they took it on.
Yep.
And then like for us it'd just be like more reseeding and splitting things off into more paddocks, and there's plenty of, although Mum and Dad have improved it really well, there's still a scope to keep going. Do you know what I mean? So
we'd like to do that, like
is it owned?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very lucky.
Yeah, it's 1,400, just over 1,400 acres. So about 900 of that would be mamped in, and the rest down then. But what's down is there's silage ground through it, but there's a lot of rough as well. Like,
okay, so you look to kind of improve on that. And
I just, to be honest, I've spoke about this a little bit. I just want one field where you can pull in with a mower. You don't have to worry about getting stuck, hitting a stone, hitting a tree. Do you know what I mean? Hitting a telegraph pole. I just want, and the baling is stressful because some of the fields slope right off and there's houses underneath. And I just want one flat field.
No stress, make your bales.
Yeah, I did a fencing job back a couple of months ago, and the chap had his own quarry, and I crushed a load of drainage stone, and he was like, "Oh, I'd try to pay you now," and I was like, "Oh," so yeah. I didn't even tell Anna's father. We now got a massive pile of drainage stone in the yard, just waiting for it to come dry enough to do something.
Like it, thinking ahead.
So that worked really well.
Yeah, it's a tricky one to declare to the taxman that I've discussed that previously. It was a gift. You mean he gifted it to you? Yeah. No, I know exactly what you're saying. So okay, so you're going to take that on. That's quite. Are you an only child?
Got two older brothers. Yeah.
Okay, but they're not keen on farming.
One's farming with his partner, and the other one's a contract shepherd. Then.
Okay.
So he's mad with his dogs, and So he does a lot of shepherding on an estate in the Brecon Beacons.
Okay,
so he's up there. So there's a fair gap between me and my brothers. I'm the youngest by 10 years. So
two little mistakes together. Iona's youngest by 7 years, are you?
Yeah.
7 years and 10 years.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Actually, our brothers, 10 years, so they're like late 30s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's different. See, who did we have in before said that they basically grew up like an only child because Archie McGregor.
Yeah.
So that's what he said because he was kind of later on. And did you feel that way too? You're kind of like an only child a bit because they were so much older.
To an extent, yeah. I think that's why I love dogs so much. I spent all my time with the dogs.
Okay.
Because you didn't have siblings the same age.
Yeah.
Did have a lot of cousins the same age. Spent a lot of time with them, but yeah.
And were you always wanted to farm?
No. No, it's funny. I wanted to be a vet, which I know isn't that far from the farming. I wanted to be a farm vet, but I was good at school, but I had to work really hard at school. It didn't come naturally. And then it came to my GCSE results and they weren't quite what I'd hoped. So I did forensics of all things in college. And then I think it was the end of the first year I'd met Colin. So I'd started doing more on the farm then. And then Colin was whispering about going to New Zealand. I was like, right, I'm going to take a year out. Just
I'll come back to that. I swear.
Yeah. I remember the tutor coming around with the UCAS forms, and she popped in front of me. I was like, I don't want to go. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's that sort of realization then, because you can sort of kid yourself for so long, but it's a lot of pressure as well. Everyone's going to uni, like, and you don't want to get left behind. We're all the same. If it's not for you, it's not for you, is it? Like,
I think it's bad in this country for pushing folk to uni. I think that was the thing that Labour kind of brought in initially, the first Labour, when New Labour came in, like, it was all about education. That was one of their slogans. And there's pushed this university thing now we've no joiners, we've no tradesmen. But everyone's got a primary school teaching degree. And doing podcasts about farming. Do you know?
I'll go back to it.
She's taking a year out. I'm pushing you that way. You're pushing me. So you never went back to it, obviously?
No, I never went back to it then. Went to New Zealand for the first time in 2016. We had a good season. And then came back home and I started on the home farm. And then that was it then. I bought my first Kelpie and way to go.
There'll be people listening to this actually quite into the Kelpie idea. There's a girl, Nicola Wordy, who's Livestock Farm Harrow on Instagram.
We met her actually a few days ago.
There you go. Did you go and see her?
Yeah,
because she's got Kelpies.
Roxy,
Yes. So like there'll be lots of people who probably watch her if they don't see your social media and like, oh, I quite fancy a Kelpie.
Yeah.
So I take it you're breeding them and training them, selling them.
Yeah, hoping to have a litter out with my bitch before long if she does come into season, fingers crossed.
We are shocking. I know there's a lot of money to be made out of breeding and training dogs, but the two of us are shocking. As soon as the dog comes good enough to sell, I'm like, this dog is handy, I'm keeping all of this. Like, you know what I mean? I just can't do it. I'd rather have the dog than have the money. You know what I mean? If it was good enough to sell, it's good enough for me. Like.
But that's a great sales pitch in itself. Because now folk know.
I want one.
I know. See, at 100 million, you'll get that dog.
I'll get a Kelpie.
I've realised now what I want to do with it. I want to make Colin sell the dog he doesn't want to sell. It's like a bit like Django vibes there. Okay, but I take it, could folk get in touch with you if they're wanting to get is it Instagram or how's best?
Insta probably, yeah.
Insta, so it's tell me what's the actual, at Hannah
C. Jacob, I think it is.
Hannah C. Jacob.
Top of my head.
Okay.
And so what, are people using Kelpies instead of collies?
No, as well as I would say.
Okay. Yeah.
They have a different role. Tell us what's good about a Kelpie.
Very good all-rounders. So for me, there's not a job I can go do personally that they can't do. So if it's gathering the hill, lambing time, I have to catch a lot of ewes. They're really good for that. And the pens, they're amazing. They got really good stamina as well. So like in May when we're doing the year marking, it's normally you get out as early as you can because the sun's coming up, it's going to get hot. But they will just stick it. They'll run all day.
You want to see the bottom of them generally. They stick the heat really well. We catch a lot of sheep, lamb and tiny lamb, everything else. So if especially Hannah, she does a lot more of it than I do. But if you even catch a sheep, it's just efficient, get it down. So literally Hannah's got a couple of good videos, see a sheep struggling to lamb, dogs off the bike, bam, bowled it over. And to me, that is the best way. 1 minute it wasn't caught, the next minute is. So.
It's a bit taboo.
It is a bit taboo.
Some people don't like it.
It's fast.
Yeah.
You're not hounding her with a bike.
Exactly.
For ages.
Exactly.
And the dogs, they absolutely love it and they get efficient. And each dog's got a different role. So Hannah's got one dog, she'll always go for front leg and try and trip the ewe up. And then she's got one dog that'll just hang on from the back and make sure if it doesn't go down the first time that the ewe's not getting away. And it's savage efficient, to be fair.
Like a lot of our ground is so steep, and where the fences are, if you were to get off with your crook and try and strategically go up to it and catch it, you'd be there for hours. You're going to lose the lamb.
And while you're doing that, the bike's rolling the way back down the hill.
Yeah. So for us, they're I love a Kelpie. I was very excited then. We were only 2 days into a holiday, and I was like, right, we get to see a Kelpie tomorrow.
I see. Got so Nicholas. Did you see a big lambing shed as well?
Yeah, amazing.
Some setup, eh?
Yeah.
Talking about 100 billion. If I had 100 billion, I'd ask Nicola what I should spend it on. At some shed, eh?
Yeah.
It's good.
Some setup.
I like the way that the barriers, the sheep feed out under the cattle barriers, because she sells all her calves, and then the sheep, it works for sheep as well. It's very well thought out.
I've seen it on socials with Hannah, and I wanted just to have a bit of a close
nosy to see how you build it. Yeah,
some of those barriers at home, but generally they're on a bit of a cheap hinge, and it looks amazing day one. And you go back a year later, and it's hanging off.
I take it hers flaps just come out.
Yeah, they're just removable 7x3s. Like, it's so simple. It's very, very well engineered for play.
No, it's a good setup in Nicola's class. So yeah, drop you a message if anyone's hearing this and want. You make me want one a wee bit now. I think Lizzie maybe wants one. I think she's said that a few times. Yeah, and I've kind of talked her out of it. I always just think that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I don't like them. I know I don't like them, but I don't know why I don't like having them. I like
because you
I like a smooth coated black and white collie. That's what I like.
Each their own, though, isn't it? Like
some folk like beardies. Like some crazy people like beardies. Like, it's just not for me.
Like some people are very critical of working dogs, but for me, as long as that dog can do what I need it to do, it's the best dog in the world.
True.
Do you mean I can get my job done with that dog? That's all I need it to do. So it's, you get some sort of dog snobs, should I say, that like very critical, be like, well, it might not suit you, but that's all I need. So.
And then run over the sheep's back to chase them up the race. Do they do that?
We don't actually use.
I'm not a big lover, to be honest.
I've got a little bit of a nick with it then. You know, if it's in the summer, it's bad fly strike weather, I don't want dirt on the sheep. I want the sheep clean.
Totally agree.
The amount of times we've gone, I think probably being shearers as well, we've seen the other side, but we've gone to a farm and know full well, whether it's a Jack Russell or a Kelpie or anything else, back in the ewes, and then you get these little pots of fly strike where the feet have been. And I'd rather just not see it, to be honest. And the way, if like for chippy ewes, if your setup's done half tidy, they should run through the pens and the races anyway. Like like once we get our sheep into the shed, we don't really need.
There's a place for it, and like again, it's each their own, isn't it? And the system.
Yeah, I mean, I can get why these guys with very little staff, maybe in Aussie and New Zealand, with big mobs of sheep and a long day in the yards, then it's a no-brainer, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, for us, when it's generally small mobs of sheep, I mean, even 1,000 sheep's not that big a mob of sheep to work through, really.
No.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point. Never thought about it for the fly strike thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of folk cancelling their order for Kelpies now. Thought that was our main thing, catching sheep. No, fantastic. Any other news you want to share with us, or any other stories? Any good stories from New Zealand? Like anything mad ever happen?
The first year, totally green going out. Managed to get a job in Hawke's Bay, and we're like, yes, okay, visas come through, we're going. And have you ever seen Once Was Warriors?
No, I'm not sure what's that one. Is that a New Zealand film?
It's a Maori film.
Right, okay, I've not seen it.
But if you've seen that, or if you watch it, it was very much.
It was very accurate.
It was, yeah.
Right. You'll need to tell us more.
I don't describe it in the nicest way. They were in the beginning.
They were rough.
Yeah, it was me and Colin in these quarters with 17 Maoris, and it was a steep learning curve. They're the type of people, especially for me in the sheds, learning to rousey out there. The first month, like, I had to fight back the tears. Like, I could not show them weakness. I had to stick up for myself. Like, I'm trying my best. And then after you'd stuck it so far, they're like, oh, she's actually given this a good go now. We'll give her a chance. And then they'd be good as gold with you then.
It's almost like initiation. They just give you absolute.
Yeah, they give you a
like
real hard time.
Just like
you as well, or just you?
Probably worse for Hannah. I felt for Hannah.
Oh, it's always worse for the Rousies, but like, some of the way they talk to some of the Rousies can be rough. Like,
but I remember about 3 weeks in, I didn't dislike them, but we weren't really getting on, and we show in the shed. We started as a 4-stand, and to their credit, you never see much fly strike in New Zealand at all, but I remember this one shed, it was horrendous. Every other one was just plastered in maggots. Yeah, we started as a 4-stand, and we ended up, it was just me and this chap. He was 77 years old, and we ended up finishing. We went overtime, tapped him out, and he came up and shook my hand, and he said, yeah, no, you're all right, like that. But yeah, it was.
Oh, the rest of them just left?
Yeah, they just rocked out.
Really? Did you say it was too tough?
Yeah, no, we don't get paid enough for that.
Why? Because of the maggots?
Because of the maggots, yeah. And yeah. So yeah, I think once we got that out of the way, once we got the first fortnight out of the way, sort of.
Yeah. It's just obviously the wool is worth so much more out there.
Yeah.
And you go from like rolling it into a ball over here, the belly in the middle, and then you go over there and you've got neck and you've got eye clips and you've got frib, belly, and you just like your mind's blown in the first week. You're like, right. And then you go from closed board shed. Well, you work differently to that than you would in an open board shed. So trying to learn where to stand, not annoy the Rousey next to you, make sure you're pulling your weight, and
yeah, that's a lot.
They kept every morning in the van, they'd be smoking whatever, like, it stinks, man. And kept asking him, would you open the window? It's cold, no, it's cold. No. Could you open the window? And this went on for weeks. And We had a day off eventually, and I seen this nice big Kaiwaka coat in the shop and fishing, and I thought, yes, so bought that. And I started driving the van then, so I put my coat on, a couple of jumpers underneath, and then we'd be driving along, baby in the back, put the windows down.
You bought the jacket?
Yeah. Give them mutual respect after that.
Yeah.
With all that said, though, I think the second time I went out with you, we went down to South Island, and if we didn't have the home farm, I would move out there in a heartbeat. It is beautiful. The people they were amazing. It was chalk and cheese of experiences, because the first year I thought, this is just what shearing in New Zealand is. You knew no better, But
you still went back for more. Fair play to you.
And we had work, because I knew a lot of other boys from around home and at the same time, and they were struggling for work, but we had every day, without fail, a bit of beg for a day off. And even when you did think you would have a day off, somebody would fail and it'd be 8 o'clock in the morning, you'd still be in bed, banging on the window. Can you come and just do 2 or 3 runs? So.
Yeah. But would you recommend it to other, I'm sure it's mostly young women, but young women to go and rousey in New Zealand? Could you go totally green,
Yeah, 100%. There's a girl I know done some work experience at home with us on the farm, and she's out there now. So I'd given her some contacts of there's one contractor in Napier, and I know there's a lot of other Welsh folk and English folk stuff going out there. So go there, you're going to know some people, but you're still going to get to experience the culture and get to learn to work in the sheds, and she's getting on really well now. I think the main thing, if you can get in with a good contractor or don't be afraid to ask what they would like to work for, and try and go somewhere. As long as you've got someone to teach you, not just be thrown in the deep end, that's the main thing.
It's always better if you can go as a pair, I take it. If you can find work for 2 of you, is that better?
Yeah.
You just got someone, then you got a bit of an ally.
Yeah. Absolutely. Somebody to, pat your back when you're crying type thing.
Yeah.
Is there did I hear stories about some mad PETA thing on the go just now over there? Did you hear this?
No.
I'm in a group chat with a bunch of shearers, and there's some story apparently by contractors. PETA's been filming with those glasses I got.
No
way. So these Meta glasses that I've got a camera built in, they've been filming things going wrong and whatever, and I've got this heap of footage, and apparently it's causing a major scandal over there. But I've not seen it anywhere else. I've not seen it in Shearing Worldwide or anything. It was just the boys in the group chat were saying it. They must know Scottish boys up there.
They're over there.
Yeah.
God.
That might be a disaster. We'll see what happens. Why did you never shear?
I did learn to shear, actually. I can shear. It was due to my back.
Okay.
At the time, I didn't know what it was. My back was, and I thought I was being a wuss, because I was like, right, your back's going to ache, you need to power through it.
Yeah, everybody's back's sore.
Yeah. So I think 40 was the most I ever got to shear in a day. So, but it was useful to learn, especially on the farm. If there's any fly strike, whatever, I can whip it off and it's done then.
Yeah. And you crutch I see in the Instagram you do all the crutching and stuff.
Yeah, enjoy my crutching. leave my Kelpie in the pen, put my music to go, and leave me crutching, and I'm happy. Yeah.
And you did the board, you did the rousing, if I'm just wondering, we're talking about wool handling, I don't know if I ever clarified that. Rousing. But you did it a world record, didn't you, for someone?
I've done Stuart Connors, Marie Preble, Marie Smith now, and Stephen Robury.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been very lucky with the opportunities I've had. I'd like to think I've worked hard to get them.
Yeah, sounds like you have. It does sound like you have. Yeah.
But that was, especially Stu's record, I laugh now because in all the photos I look so serious, but I was so petrified, he's going for a record, you don't do anything wrong to mess this up at all. Don't drop your broom, don't knock him with the broom.
There's more pressure to it than you realise, because what sort of they were explaining is, I think you get 1 or 2 assists for the port all per run. Is it 2 assists?
2 assists per run, I think.
So if you see them struggling, from Hannah's point of view, and you're on the board, if you think they're going to get it down, you're better off not touching it at all. But if there's a chance that it might not go down, then you do need to help. But you only get 2 for the run. So I think it was a lot to it. There's a lot to think.
Yeah, you could blow the record if you over assist.
Yeah.
There was also a big controversy with Dwayne Black did a post about the records, and not having a go at Rousey as such, but the how confusing the rules are for the wool handlers and everything. And actually, I thought he was spot on with what he said about how overcomplicated they make it.
Yeah.
About the door has to be this way and X, Y, and Z. I thought he made a good point of more or less shear the sheep.
Yeah.
You do whatever you can do within the rules, as long as there's a door that swings
Yeah.
Nobody touches the sheep. You do whatever you can to make that, like Formula 1, you tweak the little things to make it more efficient.
Like you say, Formula 1, it's totally natural because at the end of the day, it's a record. It's going to get harder and harder.
Absolutely.
So people are going to have to get, natural ability is only going to take you so far. Yeah, every record's got to have to be more than the last. So I think you can expect to see that. People are trying to help themselves in every way possible.
Tweaking things and absolutely, and we do. But as I do say before, because there's so few people that shear, I really do think like the best shearer that ever lived probably never lifted a handpiece. You know that one I say about I think they're probably out there. Although David Fagan probably still beat them, but apart from him, I think it's just pure freak. But yeah, no, listen, we're going to do a quiz. We're at the hour there. We're going to do a quiz. This is our last day of this quiz.
But don't make that kind of statement because it might not be.
No, because I think it will be. But we don't have any shearers. Do we have any shearers on it? No shearers.
No, wait a minute. You said this the other day, and then when we had a shearer in, Dougie Steele.
Oh, Dougie's there. Sorry, Dougie. Yeah, sorry, Dougie. Dougie is there. Okay, and one of these has to do. Well, actually, though, do you speak Welsh? Do you speak Welsh?
Yeah, not fluently.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, you do.
Just enough to.
Yes, he does. Don't listen.
Just enough that the other shearers don't realise. Or will they realise pretty quick?
Just enough to sing the national anthem.
Oh, yeah. Best national anthem that there is.
Is it?
I would say. Oh, it just is. Just watch them sing it. You don't even need to know the words. No. Like it's obviously in Welsh. Tune? It's not even a good tune. It's the passion of it. It's the way it builds.
Okay.
It's the way it builds. It starts off It starts off nice and slow and passionate because everybody sings it. And the Welsh make the best choirs. So when you get a group of them singing it, you never see the best choir last choir standing or something. Wasn't it the BBC show? Some Welsh guys won it every year.
Really?
Yeah, they're just.
You've watched such weird programmes.
No, I didn't watch it. I just know they won it. All right.
How do you
But you think I'm sitting watching bloody choirs?
Yeah, I do.
The reason I don't think it's on anymore is who is watching it. Who's watching bloody choirs singing? Like, I wouldn't even watch X Factor. But anyway, Welsh national anthem. Okay. So who's going to do the quiz?
You can do this.
Right.
We usually toss for it if you want to toss for it, but you want to do it?
Nah, you can do it.
No,
Okay. Colin's hit for it.
You're allowed to. You're allowed to pass.
I'll pass.
Yeah. You'll need to. That could be hard. Right, we're going to go 3, 2, 1, go.
Television licences were first introduced in the UK in 1949 at the cost of how much? A, 2 shillings, B, £2, C, £20.
£20.
£2. In what decade did Louis Blériot make the first powered flight across the English Channel?
In what decade?
Yes.
1920.
Oh, 1900s. In which city was Biker Grove set?
Pass.
Newcastle. If a bingo caller shouted duck and dive, what number would he be calling?
65.
25. In what
good guess.
sport would you hear the term third man?
America.
Cricket. In what competition did Wanderers beat the Royal Engineers 1-0?
Pass.
Football Association Cup. Which of Henry VIII's wives survived him?
Victoria.
Catherine Parr. In which Shakespeare play would you find the characters of Portia, Antonio and Shylock?
Romeo and Juliet.
Merchant of Venice. Who preceded Justin Welby as Archbishop of Canterbury?
Jeremy Clarkson.
Robin Williams. Which famous scientist is quoted as saying, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough?
Oppenheimer.
That was a good guess.
Einstein.
That could have been him.
The oldest pub in Britain, Ye Old Trip to Jerusalem, is situated in which English city?
Edinburgh.
You actually know that one?
No, it's English city.
Oh, English City. Good guess. Right, next one.
Nottingham.
This is terrible.
What
terrible
is the
questions.
largest totally freshwater lake in the world?
Loch Ness.
Lake Superior. In German,
I've been there. Should know.
in German, this musical instrument is called a doodle sack. But what is it called in English / Scottish? Yes. What is the name for the tough, fibrous, flexible connective tissue that links bones together?
Marrow.
Ligament. In mythology, who was the principal god of the Greeks?
Pass.
Zeus. Which soldier and statesman had a horse named Copenhagen?
Pass.
Time, they're terrible. Right, mate, don't worry about it. Listen, absolutely stinking. Right, but anyway, listen, we'll go and see this farm, will we? Mm-hmm. Right, good to have you guys, right?
Thank
That's
you.
us.
Thank you very much.
And we're back. I tell you one thing.
Go on.
Jordan and Becca will be quite happy with that podcast. Sorry, Colin. I think it just all spiraled down hard questions, but
it was a tough gig.
Can I just say it's disgusting questions, because in next week's podcast, one of the questions is, I don't know how this question came up. I'm just spoiling. This is a spoiler. One of the questions is 8 + 6.
I know.
I don't know how these questions. Anyway, I don't think anybody listening to that, Colin, will think you did too bad, by the way, because it was a shocker. So yeah, great to hear for them.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me want to go and travel a bit. And
does it?
yeah, I always wish I'd shore a bit around the world, but
I
didn't. I didn't.
You've got you could do your travelling later on in life.
Well, get the boys to run and Bonnie to run the farm, and Lizzie and I will go and see
you and Lizzie
bits.
go and when you're older.
Yeah, I'd like to go and do that old the Montana thing and all that. And
yeah,
but do you know, I wouldn't want to go to Montana,
right?
Because John Dutton specifically says, this is Yellowstone I'm talking about, specifically says the thing that ruins these places is tourists.
Okay.
Which is ironic, because then people watch Yellowstone and want to go there.
Yeah.
But he's right. So out of principle, I wouldn't go there, because it is tourists that ruin it. They bring a lot of money to it as well, but they do ruin it a bit.
Yeah, they do ruin it.
So I'm like, do you know what? I'm just gonna. He's right. Keep it beautiful.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't take the piss, obviously. I'd want to get involved, but let's just keep it beautiful. No bother. I'll go to the Outback instead.
Is that, if you had one place to choose to go right now, where would it be?
One place? Is this, you say that like I can't go anywhere else ever, or?
No, sorry, just for a holiday.
For a holiday?
Like, well, you're saying about doing some travelling and stuff.
I'd probably just go down to Devon. It's easy. It's nice down there.
I would love to go to Devon, actually.
Lizzie likes it. That's the main thing.
Lizzie ever tried to surf? I think they surf down there.
Do they? Mm-hmm. Possible. It's maybe more a Cornwall thing, is it?
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Well, I'll pass. Is it someone listening will know? Where's Newquay? Is that Welsh? I think they have waves there. I mean, most beaches have waves.
True.
Science.
It is.
Physics.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. Where would you go?
If I was to go right now, I just fancy a beach holiday, a beautiful beach somewhere. That's what I would fancy. I would go to Koh Tao in Thailand.
Koh Tao, okay, nice. I've never been to this. I've been to Japan. I would love to go to Japan. I would happily go to Japan again.
I would love. That's on my list. Japan and Canada. I would love to. Canada as
absolutely.
Well.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just too miserable. Just go to Devon.
Imagine what it would do for you having a week off your phone. Imagine you left your phone here and just had a week not on your phone.
Yeah, it'd probably be quite good.
I think it'd be great for you.
No, but imagine the carnage when I come back.
It'd be great for me as well. Imagine a week.
Oh, I know. not getting on to you. But the problem is, if I didn't have my phone, Lizzie would have to have hers going, because what about if the sheep get out and what about it's like, you just can't not have your phone with our setup. Is the reality, and it's our main income. It's social media and stuff off the back of the phone. So, and this podcast. So thanks you guys for watching it. Do check out the merch store as well. Have we had a restock recently of the Fed by Farmers merch? No, it's coming soon.
No, it will be coming.
It will be coming very soon. Okay, so I think that'll do us for this week. Thanks as always for listening and watching. I've been Cammy.
I've been Iona.
And we're all Fed by Farmers.